Miss Ankita Dube. She is a seasoned data scientist with an impressive track record of 6.5 years in this field, currently serving as a technical lead and lead data engineer at Tech Mahindra. Ankita brings a wealth of practical experience and expertise to the table. Now, get ready to delve into the world of data science with insights and knowledge from a true industry leader. Ankita ma'am, now you can start.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So maybe one request, we can all have our cameras on so that I don't feel like I'm in some corporate meeting. So, this becomes more like a interactive session.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Okay. I'll be sharing my screen. Just let me know if my screen is visible.
It's visible, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. So, hello, welcome everyone. And I was under the impression that we are going to have some students also on board, but it's nice. It's my first time experience of teaching the teachers. So let's see if I do a good job. So basically, we are here to dive into the world of data. Now, to be very honest, the world of data is not just confined to data science, but I have been particularly instructed that, to speak more on this topic. So, yes, the topic of today would primarily involve data science. Okay. So before we actually get into knowing more about data science, we'll just quickly run through the agenda of today. So first, we will start with small introduction of what data actually is. Then we would do what is the importance of data and what are the influences that data has created, the various fields of data science, the scope in the industry, and final tips and takeaways. And if we have some time, we can also do small question answer segment as well. Okay. So before I actually begin and talk about what data science is and how it has been impacting our world today, now you must have noticed suddenly, over the past decade, a lot of exaggeration has been given to this topic of data science. So why is this become so important? So in order to understand why is this such an important topic, we need to understand what data is. This is a first hand thing, of what data is. So data is broadly classified into two types. One is your personal identifiable information. That is your name, your age, your phone numbers, your addresses, which are widely available on the internet. Now, this may sound a bit scary also that, oh, my personal information is available. But yes, it is because we have been, logging on to various Amazon websites, to Flipkart websites, to so many other websites that our data is actually there with the company. It's been used to create analysis and it is reality. Our data is not just with us. Second type of data basically includes our actions on the internet, which includes our browsing. That is, the kind of things that we browse on the internet, the comments that we leave on the internet, the some movements that we do on the internet, which is like, let's say if today I'm buying a grocery and I start comparing the prices between Big Basket and Swiggy. So, both these companies know that I am comparing the prices of these two, different websites. So that is a small introduction about data. We can go on and on, but yes, I'll just, because of the limitation of time, I'll just keep it short. So what is the importance of data science? Now we've understood what data is. Now, why is it so important in data science? And suddenly, why is this so important in data science? But let's go back to our time, let's go back maybe a decade back. Okay. Now we will understand that data was always there. Let's say if some of our fathers owned small shops or, some small business, you must have seen, let's say my father owned some grocery shops. Okay. So what he used to do is, he used to analyze that, oh, we have a lot of sale for biscuits and we have a lot of sale for chocolates. So let's keep those items more in stock as compared to other grocery items, which are being bought maybe once a month. But these are items that are very particularly, very frequently brought. So this is again the insights of data. Okay, this data analysis was always present in our lives. It is nothing new. That it is not some new topic that is suddenly blossomed. No, it was always there, but it was there in a very very confined state. That is, we used to have, let's say, if my father owned that shop, his state was very confined to his own region. Now, because of the internet, the boundaries of the region has been abolished. That is, everybody is there on the internet, everybody is there on social media, so everybody can see your business on social media, everybody has access to Amazon, everybody has access to Flipkart, so the business has become wide grown. Now, when I say business here, it is not really just confined to buying and selling goods, that kind of business. Healthcare is also a business, education is also a business. Just now you people played the video of your college, right? That is an advertisement, right? A kind of advertisement only. So that is also a business. So when I say business, so basically data science is not just confined to some buying and selling of good kind of business. It is there everywhere and practically present everywhere. I will be explaining more about it as I go forward. But before that, I would just touch on some smaller topics that I have mentioned here. First is business intelligence for smarter decisions. Now, one may think, okay, data science hai, sab acha hai, very nice. But the budget that these big companies have for data collection and its analysis, it is too huge. Now, when I go forward, I will explain how, what kind of packages are being paid in the industry currently. So you will understand that, so much of money is being spent on this. Why? Why is it so important? It is plainly because it helps you to make smarter decisions. So I had the privilege of working with IKEA being one of the most, affluent furniture departments that they have. So what we used to do there was that we used to particularly have our models trained. It used to look at, let's say a particular area, a lot of office chairs are being bought. So what we used to do is that increase the production of office share in that area. So that was a smarter decision. With big companies, a global icon companies, imagine the cost of production that they have to go if they have to actually, keep the same amount of production in all the areas. So that is particularly very, very huge. So that is one kind of smart decision. You see where what product has been is selling and increase the production in only that region. That would save up the cost also, and that would help your help your products to go faster also into the market. Second is making better products. Now, how is it so important to make better products? Now, let's say if I make an application today and I put it out on the internet, and all of you have maybe sometime or the other, you must have used the beta version of some or the other application. Now, what is the beta version? It is basically the version is not being launched into the market, but it is just given out to the public so that they can use and they can understand how things are working. So now this beta product since it is launched and it is being given to you people, what you people do is, earlier what we used to do is fill up some customer satisfaction feedback form, but now that is not so important. Everything that you write on the internet is our feedback form, right? So let's say if today people start writing, oh, Instagram's new version, it is not very good, it's hanging, or the feeds are not very good. There was a new trend in Instagram that was called as threads. So the threads trend didn't go too well with the people, and how did they understand? Through the social media. So everything that you write on the social media, let's say good or bad, or okay, a very explanatory a very nice product or something like that, so everything goes onto the internet and we collect it, and that helps us to make better products. Now, one classic example of this of the decision making and the better product making is, today all of us must have noticed, you must have gone on Amazon or Flipkart, scrolled out on some product, and suddenly all your social media pages are flooded with these products. Now, where did this come from? So this is particularly coming from the data science part, where everything is being tracked, everything has been modeled, everything is being trained to give you these feedbacks. Okay. Now, sometimes people may have noticed this also, that you must have spoken, somewhere, oh, I'm just craving biryani. And suddenly biryani pops up. And then we feel, oh, is it that everything is being recorded? Everything is being, we kind of, we get intimidated also that, oh, nothing is private. But the fact is, although the voice also plays a short part of it, but that is not, it is not against your privacy. But the models are trained in such a way that they have analyzed your behavior in such a way that they exactly know that, okay, so yesterday she was searching for a pulao rice, and day before that she bought too many vegetables, so there is a probability that she may have to make biryani today. So suddenly these recipes may come up, or suddenly some Zomato ad may come up. Okay, so that is how it is being trained. Next thing that I will talk about is predictive analysis. Now, I'm not going to cover, all these three, four things, because most of it is much or related. Okay, so I'll just cover something that is new. So, predictive analysis. So, remember I told about IKEA and how we used to have that, okay, a certain area has a lot of office chairs going in. So now we make a prediction. If somebody buys an office chair, he may need a table as well. So we increase the production of table as well in that market. Now, to keep in mind here is that people have not yet bought the table. We have just made a prediction. अगर ऑफिस चेयर लिया है तो टेबल तो चाहिए होगा. Where will they keep the laptop? So this is how the predictive analysis work. We predict on what this customer needs to have. Let's say if today you have bought let's say if today you have bought dal, so we make a prediction. Okay, she's bought dal, so she may need haldi, or she may need some some rice item as well. So that is how the prediction works. Now another very very important area where data science has been proven very effective is the automating of the recruiting processes. Now, how recruiting processes, suddenly somebody may say Arey, recruiting process, how data science is making impact in that field. But okay, let's go back. So initially, what we used to do was that there used to be some advertisements in papers about some jobs. We used to make a resume, go to that particular office, submit the resume. So I'm not sure about how the process was, but yes, I think this was it. Okay, so people used to submit the resume there, and then they used to get calls. Okay, now interview has been scheduled, or you have been rejected, or whatever. But now, what these platforms like Naukri.com and these other platforms have done, that it's been so simple. The interview process has become so seamless, and it is so much because of the data science. So what they do is they take your resume, they pick up the key fields in that resume. So let's say in my resume, I would say data scientist, I would say data engineer, and some other fields like that. Okay, so they would pick these up. They would try to match it what the recruiter wants. Okay, so the recruiter wants, let's say, two, three more fields. They try to match it, and then they send out your resume to the recruiter. And that is how the recruiter tries to contact you. Okay, so this is just one examples, but we will be talking more about how it impacts various other fields as well. So here I would say about the influences that it is creating in all different fields. To be very honest, data science is present everywhere, including our homes, everywhere. Okay, but let's just cover more, more wider topics rather than the granular ones. So, firstly, banking. So, banking is a very, very classic example. It cannot work. Today's banking sector cannot work because without data science. So, why? How banking? So, let's say if you have maintained a account in XYZ bank, okay, but you've not made some transactions on it for the past 6 months. So, what the banking people predict is that, okay, now this customer is not making any transactions. There is a possibility he may leave the bank. He may go to some other bank. Okay, so this is a big possibility. So this is one way. Then we may say, okay, now we have seen that suddenly health issues have been arising in people. Insurance becho, okay, sell a lot of insurances. So this is also how banking, how banking has been impacted by data science. Next field that I would cover here is marketing. So marketing, how it is, marketing may, it is not just in some marketing firm, but it is also any place where marketing is required, including coaching classes, or let's say schools, or any field for that matter, any field, or even these big five companies. Every company has a marketing manager assigned to it. So how it is impacting marketing? So let's say if I launch some product in a market, when I say a market, I mean some area. Okay, so let's say if I launch some product in Mumbai, then I capture the reaction of the people in Mumbai. So people may say, oh, this product is very nice. Oh, this product, it is helping us so much. And we try to analyze, okay, based on the weather conditions, based on the preferences of the candidates in Mumbai, what is the thing that they want the most, and we would say, okay, we would launch some cotton clothes there, so that may suit the people there. So that is how marketing works. I'm sorry, give me a moment. Okay, so this is just about application of data science in marketing. Next is healthcare. So how healthcare, now everybody has used the Arogya Setu app, I believe, in COVID, right? Now the primary thing of the Arogya Setu app was that it used to give predictive analysis on which is the high risk zone, which is the low risk zone, whether your area falls into a high risk zone or a low risk zone. Now how was it doing this? Now the reason that it used to do was that it used to have the data of all the patients that were coming in from a particular area. So let's say if a particular area had certain number of patients, then they used to mark this area as a red zone or an orange zone. So this is how it used to work. Okay, apart from that, of course, operations, genomics, insurance, and finance, so these are all the fields. So basically my agenda here is to tell you people that data science is present each and every field, and everywhere it is present. We can't really do anything without data science in today's market. Now, when I say data science, there is a lot of misconception that data science is basically limited to ML, which is models, building models, machine learning, or AI generation. Okay, so these are two very fascinating topics that people have picked up. But to be very honest, data science is not just confined to those two topics. There are there is lots of fields, and there is and trust me on this, each field has equal opportunities. So we'll begin with data engineering. There is domain expertise, then there is visualizations. There are people who are required for mathematics and statistics background. So everybody, all these fields are equally important and equally high paying fields, I would say. Now to understand one particular field that I would like to point out here is that of a data engineer. Now this is been very popular in the past 5 years or so, when especially how we used to have in the field of data was that initially all our data was confined to RDBMS. What I mean to say is that table hai, column hai, SQL database hai, right? SQL database, I think everybody must have been aware of it. Somewhere in school or college we must have used. But now SQL database is hardly being used. So what these data engineers do is that this is one part of their job, is that get the data from SQL to some cloud. Okay, that is data engineering. Now how how this data is being used in the market, as I said, your comments are also data for us. Now how is it possible? Comments are just randomly written lines, so people can just write, hi, I use this product, it was very good. Now this is just a very random line. How can I take up this data and make some sense out of it? And this is, just imagine, it is not one person writing comments. When I speak about on social media, there are so many people coming up with different comments, and it is so difficult, right? People may say that people can go crazy, we can't even read all the comments, forget about making sense of it. So what happens is, now that is our data source. Let's say comments is our data source. Now this data source is in a very raw form. Raw is a word that is being used here. So raw means we cannot really make any sense out of it right now. So we have just collected the data, we have kept it in our database. Now database is not here, the database is not divided into tables and columns. Okay, now the database is just it is just kind of maybe one column, and everything is just fed into it for currently. Then we process it. Now in processing, what we do is, now because I am taking an example of comment, so continuing with that example, now we write certain algorithms where we make our data understand, okay, so if some comment has good written in it, so that means it is a good product. If some comment has bad written in it, that means the review is a bad review. If someone has put up a smiley emoji, so we would say it is a good comment. So that way we train our model to understand what is a good comment, what is a bad comment. We feed in some examples, we test it, and then we pass it. That is how all the data is being passed to that comments. And finally it makes some sense out of it. It makes a table, it makes good reviews, bad reviews, count number of reviews, etc. Just I'm just sharing an example over here. And then it is finally passed on to the destination. Now the destination could be some cloud, or it could be some data source, whatever, wherever it is being used. So then it finally passes to destination. Okay. So this was just a overview on, sorry, I think I missed the slide. Okay. So this was an overview of how data science is being present in our environment today. Now, speaking on what is the industry trend, why suddenly, everybody wants to go into data science. Now, the reason for it is very, very, obvious, because of the kind of packages that these people are drawing. To be very honest, on the basis of, let's say, comparing to a person who is a Java developer, compared to that person, a data scientist can earn up to 50% more with the same experience, with the same level of experience. Let's say if a person is a Java developer today, or let's say he's some, C++ developer today, the kind of opportunities that I get over this person is more, in terms of jobs, in terms of package, in terms of foreign opportunities as well. So because data science is a field where every country now has huge demand for data scientists. So in terms of that opportunities, it is very, very easy for a data scientist to get into any country. Today I would say any country you can go and easily get a job there. So that is not an issue. Whereas some people may struggle, let's say a database administrator, or such kind of jobs. These, I would say, these are a bit dying jobs. Web developers especially, I wouldn't say that, I would not suggest on this platform that people should not learn web development, but then there are so many tools that have come up that can easily design your websites. So web development is sort of a dying job now. So yeah, so data scientist is, for now I would say, it is one of the most highly demand jobs. Okay. Next topic is, we've come to the final tips and takeaways. Now, while this is a very high paying job and everything seems very fancy, but the fact is, it is not really based on theoretical knowledges. So a lot of classes, and a lot of, we can see a lot of ads and everything claiming that they will teach a lot of data science to people. Good, very nice. But all they can teach here is really, the theoretical part of your, the theoretical part of data science. But in real world, to be, real, if you want to get a job in a company, they would not really just go with theoretical knowledge. They need some kind of, you need to have some kind of internship, or some hands-on project on this field, or some self analysis, that you have taken some set of data which is widely available on the internet. So take up some set of data, do some analysis on it, try to build up some models on it, then you can definitely go and get a job. Apart from that, it is also a very, very highly pressurizing job, I would say, because the scope of mistake here is extremely less, because everything that you do is going to ultimately kind of have an impact on the decisions that is being made. So let's say if today I analyzed the wrong thing, I analyzed that, in Mumbai we can sell sweaters. Can you imagine what kind of what kind of loss I'm going to give to that company? Now this is a very, very logical thing that I've said. That if somebody predicts that, if Mumbai may we can sell sweaters, then obviously, because everybody lives in India, then we know what kind of climatic conditions are there. But imagine the intensity of this is that we may be looking at some country in Germany or Sweden, or some city there, and we don't know what kind of climatic conditions are there, and we have said, okay, yes, let's sell sweaters there. And now the sweater is really, it's a very warm place. Now we have really spent on production, we have spent giving money to the data science, to the data analyst, and we have spent setting up a business there, and now this business is not working. So the impact that this field has is extremely large. So that is why it is a very highly paying job, but at the same time it is a job with a lot of responsibility as well. Other thing is openness to learn and take up challenges. So when I say openness to learn, it is basically it is just like, you can't get everything right in one go. It is not possible. You have to make mistakes, but of course, making mistakes is okay, but it should not become a blunder. So take up challenges, take up new roles in the organization, and it is not some role where you would just sit, write down some Python code and execute, and that's it. No, it is not like that. You have to understand the business as well, because that is how you will understand what my model is being trained on. Is it right or is it wrong? Because you don't know the business, then how will how will you understand what the model is predicting, right? So that is how how this field is. I think we still have some time, so we can take up some more questions as well. And I have just spoken very briefly on this field, because of the time constraint. But yes, this field is something that you can always keep talking about, and there and we can have so much more to talk on this. But yes, I think it is always better that we take up some question answers, so that we can understand if there is something that needs to be addressed.
Thanks, Ankita. I would like to ask, like, as you told, there should be practical knowledge to the students to get the good job in data science company. So, which kind of trainings or which kind of suggestion would you like to provide us so that we can communicate to our students to go in this field?
Okay. So, ma'am, basically, when I say that, a lot of some experience is required, I would suggest there is always scope for internships. So, if somebody gets an opportunity to do some small internships, maybe unpaid, that is okay. But if you get an opportunity to do some internship, one should grab it. Take up the internship opportunity. Other thing is, now I understand that, a lot of small scale data science companies also may not want a lot of interns because of the amount that they are spending on this field. So what we can do is, we have some websites where there are data available of so many fields, like, like social media data is also available. These are sample data sets that you can use. So you can use this sample data set and make some analysis on it. Theoretical knowledge you can always get from Google, or you can always get from some books. But the point is, how do you make it now? So take up these sample data sets and try to predict some things. Try to understand that, oh, what is it? Try to analyze it. So as I said, now it depends on what kind of interest the student has. So sometimes somebody may like to do some data engineering, somebody may like to do some data analysis. So that, depending on that, a lot of resources are available on the internet. Everything is available on the internet, free of cost also. So it is just about downloading the right things and trying to analyze the right things.
Yeah, appropriately you said, like, lots of data is available on the internet, but at times students don't know about the particular sites and the direction in which they have to go. So that should be guided. Otherwise, there is a bundle of information available on the
Yes,
internet,
yes,
and how much we can
true.
expect from it. It depends upon the student, and that should be guided research yourself.
Correct. So I would
Yeah.
say, for a student who is like, depending on, first year, second year, third year, fourth year. So I would just say, for a first year student, if because he's just being introduced to this field and, just out of college. So there is a website that is called as Geeks for Geeks. Now, this is a very good website to practice. To practice, make sure that the Python is good, thus SQL is good. So these are the two major fields that is required for data science: Python and SQL. So Geeks for Geeks. And there is another website that is called as HackerRank, which is used to, it is a competitive kind of website where they will give you some, that some questions and you need to solve. And it goes on from lower level to highest level. That is how it is placed. So HackerRank is also one of the very popular fields, and that this HackerRank is especially something that I have used when I was learning Python and SQL when I wanted to switch to this field. I would suggest HackerRank for the first year students, and second year also. They can use, both these years can use HackerRank and Geeks for Geeks. For the third and the fourth year, now, because I would assume that, 1-2 saal they have practiced SQL and Python, and now they have become good in this field. So I can pass some, some resource links which can be used for the analysis purpose. So I can pass it to maybe Anjubila ma'am, and she can pass it to the forum wherever it is required. So there are these particular links where there are a lot of data sets that is available, free data sets, absolutely free. You can take it up, put it on your website, put it up on any of the cloud, and you can use it. And for the third year students especially, I would say one cloud is very, very important. Any cloud. You can take up GCP, you can take up Amazon, you can take up Azure, any cloud of your choice, whatever. Mostly they all work in the same lines, so it is not much of a difference. Any cloud, take it up and learn that cloud. Try to understand what is a data warehouse, how the data is being placed in that cloud, and why is it so important to have a cloud. So we can do that. And for by the time they come to fourth year, they will have some kind of practice on it, so they will be able to take up the interview questions more easily then.
Very practical answer. Thank you so much, Ankita.
Any other query from any other participant? Okay. Thank you so much, Ankita ma'am, for such a knowledgeable and wonderful session for our students.
Thank you so much. I hope that everybody gets some insight from this, and I can
Definitely, ma'am.
I hope I have done justice.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your time, everyone. Thank you. Meet you. Bye.